So there are times you want to execute a particular code while some certain condition is true, and this is where while loops comes in. So let's say we have k now equals to 10, and we want to keep decreasing from this k every iteration until this k is equals to 0, right? So we can use while loop here by just saying y k is greater than 0, which means we want to keep on decreasing this k until it is 0 or less. While k is greater than 0, we want to first print out the k. So after printing out this k, what do we want to do? Then we want to reset the value of this k. So that will be minus equal 1. And this is just same thing as writing k is equals to k minus 1. So I'm just going to write something to end this loop right here. Print, okay, end of while loop. So this condition, this code is going to keep running as far as k is greater than 0. And after every iteration, we are reducing k. So let's run this and see. Now you can see that we start with k being equals to 10. We go over it, we reduce k by 1. And we kept on reducing k until k is equals to 1. And this last iteration right here, when we reduce k by 1 again, it made k to be 0. So this condition is not true. So this while loop is not running. And it moves to the next one. Okay. As I run for while loop, but let's say we want to increase k instead and not reduce it. So I'll just go ahead and comment this, then copy it again, and right here I'll just paste it here. And right here now, I'll comment this. We are setting this k here to 1. I want to keep increasing this k until it reaches 10. So while k is less than or equals to 10. So while k is less than or equals to 10, we want to print the k and we want to add 1 to this k instead. So this will be plus, and this is the same thing as k plus 1. So if I should go ahead and run this now, okay, I'm good to go. Because instead of reducing it now, we are increasing this k by 1 after every iteration until it reaches 10. So this is how you work like while loop in Python. And another example of you working with while loop in Python here is, let's say we want to like, okay, let me just go ahead and comment this again. Okay, let's say you're in a situation whereby you want to print the sum of the first 100 positive integers number. So how do we do this? So let me just write this here. Program to find the sum of the first positive integer. So we're looking for the sum of the first. Let's just say int. Okay, I think this print. So just go ahead and make sure this is print and not int. Okay. So if for a program to be like sum of the first 20 integer, first we are going to have two variables here. We want to have the sum, and this sum should be 0 by default, right? Then next I want to have my I. This I is the one that is going to keep track of the integer I'm going to have. So my I here will be set to 1 at first. Then why this same I is less than or equals to 0, less than or equals to 100, I mean, just like how we did here using k. But here we are not going to be adding to I, we are not going to be working with I, but we are going to be like, okay, reducing from I. Yes, adding to I, and we're just going to be adding to the sum. So sum now will be equals to the initial sum plus the value of I. You get me? And now we want to also increase this I itself. So that will be I equals to what? Okay, I plus 1, and that's just something as I equals to I plus equal 1. So we are tracking the progress of this I, so we can know when to stop adding to the sum itself. So we can just go ahead and say that, okay, instead of printing end of loop here, we just want to print the sum of the first 100 positive numbers is equals to the sum. We want to have the sum here. So if I should go ahead and run this now, okay, so we are getting the sum of the first 100 positive integer numbers is equals to 550. Okay, yes, you can just Google that and see if this program is correct. But yes, it is correct because it's adding all the positive integer numbers together. So this is a version of this code, but let's say we want to add the even number and the odd number together at the same time. And this is where this type of program gets more interesting in its way. So I'll just go ahead and just like say that, okay, print also. Okay, now we just want to have we'll print 9. Want to have program to add. Okay, there's a program to find the sum of even and odd numbers. Even odd numbers. Okay, let me just put this another line from first 100 integer numbers. So we have this now, and how do we work with this? First of all, we're going to define two sum also. We have even sum even, then sum of the odd number itself. So we have the sum of the even number, sum of the odd number. Then we are going to have our I set to 1. So here again, we want to have y I is less than or equals to 100. Now we are inside this y block itself. But how do we know if the number is even or odd? If you can recollect that, whenever you divide even number by 2, you have no remainder. That's your remainder is 0. But when you're dividing even number by odd number by 2, you're getting a remainder. So that's what we're going to use to check here. So what we want to do here is to check if all dividing I by 2. So I'm going to use this modular divider. Modular divider that is going to return the remainder instead. If you divide it by 2 and the remainder is equals to 0, that means this was an even number. So you want to add this value to the even sum itself plus I. But otherwise, that means it is an odd number, right? So what we're going to do here is add it to the odd sum itself. It's like, okay, sum odd plus I. Now this is meant to be I and not 1. Okay, so we have it this way. Now, what do we want to do at the end? We want to make sure that after every iteration, we are incrementing our I. So that's I plus equal 1. So I can just go ahead here and print out some of the even numbers. So just say sum even. Then again, print out some of the odd numbers. That equals to sum odd itself. So just go ahead here, remove these extra parentheses. So I can just go ahead and run this code now. Now I see that the sum of the even numbers is what 2550, and the sum of the odd numbers is 2500, and the sum of the integer itself is 5550. If you add these two together, you're getting 5550. So that's work quite alright there. So just go ahead and comment out this printing. And another thing you can use while loop for is you want to keep prompting a user for an input until the user enter something in the range of something you desired or you want. So let's say it will be something like now. Let's say I want to keep prompting the user for an age until the age is above 18. You understand? That'd be a good example. Okay, let's say I want to like keep prompting the user for a score mark, so we can grade the user, and we want to make sure that the user is entering a valid score. So I'll just say score now, like int input, enter your score. So I want to keep asking the user for a score until it enter a valid score. So what we're going to do is just y score. Okay, let's see how we work with this is y score is greater than 100, or this like us using the or operator now, score is less than 0. So we want this score to be between in this. So let's say this is greater than or equals to, yes, it's possible for it to get 100. Okay, we want to keep on prompting the user, so we just go ahead here and print enter a valid score. As your score should be 0 and 100. So just want to go again and prompt the user for the score again. So right now, if I should run this code, it's asking for a score, right? And let's say I prove to be a stubborn student and I'm entering invalid score. So it's asking me again to enter invalid score, right? So if I should enter something of minus 45, that score is not valid until I enter something valid like 45. And now the program is finished, executed. Quite alright. So you can use while loop to like keep on asking the user what you want him to do, or what you want the user to input something valid, so that you can work with that value itself. So the value can be like, okay, valid. So I can just go ahead and print your score is. So you can keep asking the user for something valid, so you can work with that valid data itself. So you can return any invalid data. So if I enter 67 now, I just score is 67. So this works quite alright. And this is also using the OR operator to combine any of these two. You get any of these two. So that'll be all for while loop today. And a recap of what we did here is just us trying to reduce the value of k. Like try to run this while loop while the value of k is greater than 0, and with every iteration we're reducing the value of k, and we did the reverse of that here, increasing the value of k from 1 to 10 while k is less than 0. And we did like we work on printing out the sum of the first 100 integer using the while loop itself. Then we work on a bit more advanced projects like that, but here we're printing the sum of the even and odd numbers separately of the first. And here we try to prompt the user again and again until we enter the desired data we wanted to collect from the user. So that'll be all for today, working with while loops. See you next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.